Hello, my name is Chester Johnson, and I am the co-founder of the Stock Boss Up app. Today I'm here with John Collins. He is a wealth educator, and he is here today to talk about retirement planning. John, thanks for being with me today.
Hey, thanks, Chester. Good to be here again.
All right, so first question is, why is retirement planning so important?
So retirement planning is important because it's like every destination we're all going to, you know, embark on. Like when you wake up in the morning, you have to, make this trip to work, or plan a trip to a business trip or a vacation or whatever we're going to do. Planning is important because it is a destination, and we all are going to have to at some point, um, you know, go there, and it's important to be prepared to be able to leave in retirement, whatever that looks like, and we all define it differently, but we're all going to have to make that trip.
Awesome. So, when should someone start planning to retire?
So, first, if you're watching this video, you're either, should I say, late, or you have questions and hopefully you can find answers, or you're trying to figure out if you're doing the right thing. So the answer to that question is now, today. We all need time is that important factor when it comes to any plan. And we don't have infinite time, do we? So it's important for us to, if you're a young adult or a parent just starting your family, hey, you can start to plan for your kids as well. There's so many stories we hear today of, because we're living way longer than we've ever done in history, isn't it? And there's so many adults and in their 60s or 70s that have to take their kids back in, and they go, oh shoot, I had all my plans, or I thought I had all my plans organized, and now my kids can't find work, or life didn't go for expected loan, so they have to come back in, and then that throws a wrench on my plan. So retirement planning is as early as you can begin for yourself and people in your life as well. Putting all of that into consideration. So today is that day to start planning for retirement, or to kind of review whatever strategy you have to make sure it's set up correctly to meet your goals.
Got it. So, what are the five things that someone must do to retire successfully?
So now, this is not an exhaustive list because there's so many things you can do, and there's so many factors that are important, and it differs for everyone. But I like to say, you know, if you're not a great at DIY, then start by speaking with a professional. It's funny. I had a conversation with someone. We're driving, and he asks a question about, well, why do I need a professional? I can find everything these days. There's apps. And said to him, well, how long have you driven past this bridge? And not even noticed the level of engineering knowledge that went into building it. Um, and I'm like, well, I don't think if someone told you they Googled how to build a bridge, you would drive past it. So you need to know where a professional plays a role, and put time to research and talk to people and find someone you can trust to get you through that process. So I would say let's start there. If you don't understand some of the concepts and fundamentals, which a lot of people don't, then start by speaking with a professional. Okay. The second thing we want to go and do is to have a strategy. Okay, so you speak with a professional, and well, they tell you all these things, that all the options you have, which is really, for me, I think investing time in education is key, like everything else, right? A lot of people get out of college, and that's the last time they ever learn anything. Well, you're gonna spend money your whole life. You're gonna have to live with the consequences of not making good financial decisions. There's no luck here, right? So you have to have a strategy. A professional can tell you, well, there's a million stocks in the New York Stock Exchange. Which one should I select? So, what's your strategy? What's your risk tolerance? What are you comfortable doing. Okay, so speak with a professional, have a strategy, then consider how the economy impacts you. So depending on what part of the world you live, what work you do, what your tax bracket is likely to be, there's factors that you have to consider based on who you are, what you do, where you live. Okay, so how do taxes impact me? How would inflation impact me? And there's lots of historic data to help support you. But you can't have a strategy without considering, well, what's my environment like? What are the socioeconomic factors that directly impact me because of my work or where I live? Okay. Then number four is consider your family. Like I said earlier, not thinking about seeing the full picture can really hurt you. So we need to consider, well, what's the size of my family? Do I have aging parents that I have to think about? How would my Do I have to plan for my kids so that they can go through college, hopefully debt free, and I didn't, have to depend on me in retirement, or I depend on my kids and in retirement. So your family plays a factor, and these are all things that are very easy to bring together if you work with a professional or you take your time to plan. There's research or statistics that show that an average American spends more time planning their annual vacation one annual vacation than they spend planning retirement their entire life. So think about that. It's in really sitting down and saying, what is important to me? Where am I going? How am I going to live in that destination? And then finally, I would say your health is a huge factor. Again, we're living longer. There's all the breakthroughs we're seeing in healthcare and technology. They're great, but that means, I like to say to people, most doctors will keep you alive longer than you want to be. So you need money to be able to stay alive that long. So it's important for you to consider how health impacts you and make sure that that's part of your retirement planning as well.
Awesome. So overall, to summarize, uh, why is why is it important to do retirement planning? It's important because it's a destination you're going to have to go to inevitably. When should you start? If you clicked on us, you should be starting right now because you have questions. And the 5 things that John Collins recommends that you do to make sure you have a successful retirement is: one, make sure you talk to a financial professional. Two, make sure you have a strategy. Three, make sure that you take into account the economy and how it can affect you, including inflation and so forth. Four, prepare for your family. And five, make sure you consider your health. John, thank you so much for being here today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Chester. Anytime.
Cool. That might be a no edit.